Hey everybody, my name's Tony and welcome to my channel. This video is for beginning handpan players. I'm just offering a few tips, advice, and maybe a few creative ideas to possibly get you moving a little more quickly. Let's get started. So the first thing you want to do when you get your handpan is find a comfortable position. You can sit with your legs crossed, sit in a chair. I usually use a snare drum stand, whether it's standing up or sitting down. Whatever you choose, you want it to be something that will sustain you for a few hours of playing so that your back isn't hurting or anything weird. So the next critical thing is striking. You don't want to beat this like a drum. So why do they say that a handpan is not a drum? Technically speaking, it's an idiophone, which means it's an instrument that has to vibrate itself in order to create sound. Something like a gong, a bell, those are idiophones. A drum is a membranophone, so it actually has a membrane that resonates. These things are finely tuned and take lots of time and effort into tuning your instrument so that it's a resonating, musical, playable instrument for you. So you don't want to beat it like a hammer because you could possibly knock it out of tune. You want the instrument as a whole to resonate and vibrate. You don't want to spend a lot of time with your hand on the pan, or you're going to mute a lot of the overtones that are going to help the instrument sing, essentially. So you just want to quickly tap. So the best thing to do is just start off lightly tapping. Don't want to overhit. And you'll be surprised how much it'll resonate with such a light touch. Certain notes are going to activate other notes because their frequencies are sympathetic. And when you get flowing, it will get it to bloom. You'll hear a swell. And it's really awesome when you get that happening. As far as your technique that you use is for striking, some people use the meat of their fingertips, your index fingers, middle fingers. A lot of people use the side of their thumb here. Whatever works best for you, a combination of which, depending on your size, if you have longer or shorter arms, you may want to use your fingertips up front and maybe your sides of your thumbs in the back and on the top. But you experiment with that and see what works best for you. Another important aspect of owning a handpan is proper care and maintenance. Proper care and maintenance can ensure your instrument lasts a long time and stays looking great. Now, it's important to keep it in a cool, dry place. You don't want to store it in the case that it came in. And if you are going to keep it in there, make sure you at least keep the zipper open so there's airflow so that the humidity isn't trapped in there with your instrument, creating some sort of corrosion over time. Each handpan maker is unique in the way they create their instruments. So usually they'll give you a list of do's and don'ts for their instrument. Some require routine oiling, some don't. So be sure to check with the maker of your handpan to ensure you're using the proper maintenance. Now you want to store it in a cool, dry place. You don't want to play it in direct sunlight and extreme heat because it can change the tuning of your instrument. Handpans require the use of our hands. And our hands are covered in oil and sweat, and the sweat contains salt, which can cause corrosion over time. on this metal instrument. So be sure you carry along a microfiber towel that you can use to frequently wipe your handpan with in case there is any moisture on the surface. I've read you can use 50 to 75% isopropyl alcohol to get off anything on the surface that doesn't come off with a normal wipe. Now keep in mind, the alcohol will remove most of the oil that you have on your pan, so if you have any oil treatment, you'll have to reapply that after cleaning it. Now if your handpan does require oil treatment, be sure to follow the instructions from the maker of your handpan. For our own safety, some players insist on using organic oils on the surface of their handpan, such as coconut oil. Some of these oils can leave your pan sticky, so be sure to use a small amount and try it carefully. I know I shouldn't have to say this, but be careful with your handpans. They're expensive, there's a lot of time spent tuning them, and they're still very vulnerable to falls because if your handpan hits the ground, it could possibly deform the top and knock everything out of tune. And that could be costly for you in having to ship it back to your maker for them to retune it. So be careful. So now I'd like to offer a few creative ideas and some suggestions for practicing and exploring your instrument. It's great to play with a metronome. That'll help keep your rhythm very steady. There's a lot of great metronome apps out there for iOS, Android that will help you keep a steady rhythm. I use Pro Metronome right here. It's free. They have a premium version of it, but you don't need that. This has got plenty of options. Like here, this is in 7/8. You can change the time signature. You can change the sounds on the accents up here. You can mute it. You have 3 sounds that you can choose from. Tap tempo, you can slow it down. Make it faster. The bare bones of it, it's all there. You got everything you need. This is the Pro Metronome. You can find this for iOS and also for Android. And the next thing you want to do in learning your instrument is explore it, learn the notes, know the scale. Every pan's different as far as the amount of notes, the scale, and the layout of the notes. You may want to learn it from low to high. And if you feel like there's too much going on, you have too many notes, just start with one note. Start adding one note in at a time. You can divide, play 1/2. Going this way, back that way, the other half. Another idea you can explore is emulating your favorite artists. There are a lot of handpan players out there that have been playing for several years and have explored the instrument and have a lot of great creative ideas to offer. So listening to handpan music, you may hear some interesting ideas. Watch the videos. I've got lots of videos on YouTube. Just keep an open mind and practice a lot and find a quiet place where you can not get distracted and you can just get lost in your playing. So I hope some of this has helped you. If it has, please hit like, leave a comment, subscribe. And if you're interested, maybe I'll make more. That's all I have for now, so see you next time.